Okay, we are here for another round of interviews with Coach White in the Human Performance Competitive PE class. We are here with Mr. Chris Hill. Chris is an assistant basketball coach at the University of Wisconsin-Whitewater, a Division III basketball school. Chris, how are we doing tonight?
We're doing all right. Can't complain. Practice was good today. Had a couple guys miss for some injuries, but other than that, we're just trying to get better right now.
Hey, we're all just jealous you're practicing. Everyone watching this, we all want to get back to
Yeah,
practice too here very, very shortly. So
I understand that.
hopefully soon. So Chris can ask you a few questions, and then at the end, I'm going to open it up the floor to you to talk to the kids. You are speaking to kids from Lincoln Way East High School. Kids in this class, a lot of them are athletes. A lot of them are college bound in all sorts of different sports, girls, guys sports, all across the board. So they're really interested to hear what you have to say. So the first question I'm going to ask you, how did sports impact your life when you were growing up, when you were a little guy, elementary, junior high, high school? Like, what kind of sports did you play, and how did they impact your life?
Oh, well, it impacted my life just tremendously, just major. The neighborhood I lived in, I grew up in, wasn't the best. My brothers found all the trouble that they could find, but basketball allowed me to just dive in. And when I wasn't in school, I was constantly either watching, playing, so it changed my life and just, tremendously. I just I fell in love with it at a young age. So I did it all the time. So it kept me out of trouble.
Hey, you hear that, kids? Sports keep you out of trouble. Okay? They keep you out of trouble.
Yeah.
So now, Chris, the basketball people that are watching this will understand, but Chris did go to Whitney Young High School in the
Mhm.
city. A lot of prominent alumni out of that school.
Yeah, go
And,
Dolphins.
yeah, they were almost as good as Lincoln Way High School in 2001. Almost.
Almost, you're right. Almost.
Almost was right. Just letting the class know that. When you were in high school and you were, playing basketball for the Dolphins and then playing, travel basketball, were there any teachers or coaches or multiple that made a difference in your life, and how did they do that?
Yeah. Well, I'll start with your dad, Stan White. I don't know if any of your class, your kids know or had a chance to meet your dad, but he was guiding light in my life at a young age. I want to say started going to sixth grade.
Yeah, sixth
So I
grade,
got a
I think.
chance. Stan White gave me opportunity to play on an AU team, a great AU team, and just a kid from the south side of Chicago being able to go and hang out at your AU coach's house, when he wasn't playing, to see another side of this, other than your life. I grew up in a city where, it was a little tough, drugs and gangs and things like that. So having an opportunity to get out of the city and see something different, see some positivity, to be around a different group of guys from other parts of the city,
Yeah.
and guys from the suburbs like your teacher John. So it was Stan White played a tremendous role in my life and gave me a great opportunity to see something different than I usually see every day. A teacher named Al Francis Sharp. She was my speech teacher at Whitney Young. She'd probably be critiquing me right now and respect a lot better from me speaking to you kids. But she did a tremendous job, not only with me, but classmates and teammates on just helping us, become better young men and speaking and kind of critiquing yourself and trying to be your best. So she played a tremendous role in my high school career and helping me get to college and helping me focus in. Those two people that stood out that stands out to me the most.
Okay. And a lot of kids in this class have teachers too that will help them get to where they want to get to, and you always do remember the special ones. So and thank you for that, for talking about my dad. I'll definitely tell him you said so. He'll really, really thoroughly enjoy hearing that. Those of you, I've known Chris for a long time, and Chris is the most social individual that I have ever met in my entire life. The kid that could intermix in any crowd, any city, any place, anytime, anywhere. So your speech teacher did an outstanding job of that, I will say. Okay, we're gonna go on to college. You did play college Division I basketball, correct?
I did. I was lucky enough to get a scholarship. Went to UW Milwaukee. It's about an hour and a half from Chicago, hour and 45. It's like it sits along the lake, Lake Michigan's, I would say, similar campus to Northwestern. It's the Northwestern of Wisconsin now, Joe.
Yep. It's the Northwestern of Wisconsin. You hear that,
Yeah.
kids? Those of you who are going to UW Milwaukee. It's the Northwestern of Wisconsin.
Like how I put that? Yeah, how I sold that. I'm trying to sell my kids, trying to sell your kids to go to UWM. But no, it's I had a great opportunity to get a scholarship, full scholarship, UWM. And actually was there for 5 years. I got hurt one year, so I redshirted. But had a great career. My teams, we got a lot of wins.
Yes.
There.
Now you guys did play in the NCAA tournament your senior year or junior year?
So actually, we went to the tournament 3 years I was there.
Three.
Well, yeah. So my first year, I was actually redshirted, but I got to travel, sit on the bench. We lost to Notre Dame in the first round.
Okay.
And then my junior year, we went to the tournament and went to the Sweet 16.
Okay.
So in the first round, we beat Alabama, University of Alabama. And then in the second round, we beat Boston College, who was ranked number 1 for majority of the year. They had Jared Dudley, who plays for the Lakers.
Yeah, that's for the Lakers.
NBA champion. So we beat them in the second round. They came out and, because we got a big win, obviously, against Alabama. We snuck up on them. And so now we're the mid-majors. So everybody knows who we are now. And we play Boston College. They come out with just knocking down threes. Jared Dudley's talking trash. And so we're down maybe 12 points in the first couple minutes. And we go on a nice run and compete and actually get the win and beat those guys. And we go on to play University of Illinois in the Sweet 16, who was ranked number 1 the other half of the year when Boston College was.
Yeah, yes, they were.
And they had a special group. I don't know if your class got a chance to talk to your old teammate, James Augustine.
Yeah, we did.
So, yeah, so we get the chance to play those guys at Illinois. It was a special moment for me and some of my teammates to, not only play in the Sweet 16, but to come home to Chicago because we played in the city.
Yeah, the Rosemont.
Yeah, where DePaul plays. So, you get to come home, a Chicago kid, come back home, playing the Sweet 16, it was a special moment. And we did not come out with the victory, but we did lose to the national runner-up champs. They lost to North Carolina. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was at that game. I went there with Stan and Adam and everybody. Some other guys we played travel with everybody. Mm-hmm. And then just to let the class know, we'll have a little tangent here. The next game was Illinois, Arizona, which is considered maybe the greatest game in the history of the tournament, which Coach White, in one of the worst decisions of his life, decided to go back to college early and gave my ticket away and got an early flight back to Wyoming and heard about the game as I landed in the airport. So
yeah, to go back to that Sweet 16 game, we talked about AAU and talked about Stan John's dad. So James was a teammate of mine who actually went to Lincoln Way, AAU teammate, and then a guy named Roger Powell who actually coaches at Gonzaga University now. He played on the Illinois team as well. So I got a chance to play in the Sweet 16, one of the biggest games on national television, against two guys that I grew up with, playing AAU with. So it was a great experience to go back home. You got your family, and just the experience to play on that level and that stage. It was amazing. It's something that I'll tell my kids about, and me and my teammates that I play with, we still laugh and joke about the things we did to get to that point in time. So.
Yeah, Chris, I mean, all the kids that are watching us, they all fill out the brackets. They all argue who's going to win every year. So it's I'm sure they're going to like hearing another one, someone who actually was there, and went through the process of the brackets being revealed and seeing who you got to play, and then the upsets and everything that goes involved in it. And it's a lot different experience when you're in it than when you're just watching it on TV and following all over, I'm sure. My freshman year at Wyoming, we were in the tournament,
Mhm.
and we were an at-large bid. So I remember the nerves of waiting for that bracket to be called, and you're like, oh my gosh, are we going to
Mhm.
get called? Are we
Yeah.
not? Then you jump on a plane within a matter of 48 hours, and we ended up going to Albuquerque. So I got to go to New Mexico, and it's an interesting experience.
It's a great experience. You talk about how you got the automatic bid. We had to win our conference. So even though I say UWM was Northwestern of of Wisconsin, we played in the Horizon League, which is a smaller conference. You know, obviously you probably heard of Butler used to be in the conference. Valparaiso used to be in our conference.
Mhm.
But at the time I was happened to be in college, UWM we were the big dogs of that conference. So
Nice.
we
Yes.
won quite a few conference championships, tournament championships to solidify our automatic bid. So once we won our conference championship, we knew we were going to the tournament. We just didn't know where. And so I think one of the reasons why we had so much success that Sweet 16 year, my junior year, was because we played in Cleveland at
Okay.
Cleveland State, where Cleveland State's in our conference.
Okay.
So our first two tournament games was in the gym we played in
Yeah.
during the year.
Oh,
And
so
it,
you
it
caught a
is,
little advantage there.
yeah, and it was Cleveland. There's nothing to do, so it wasn't like it was too much. This was pre-LeBron,
Yeah.
so Cleveland does not. Cleveland didn't look like Cleveland. It looks like now.
I was in Cleveland in the late '90s, and I don't know if I'll ever go back because
I can tell you this: it looks a lot different now. It looks a lot different now since
all right, well,
post LeBron.
that's good because I'm pretty sure Albuquerque's still the same place. I don't think I'll be going back to Albuquerque anytime soon.
Probably not. But
Yeah,
so we had a little advantage, and it definitely helped us out. And so we had that nice run. And then coming back to my senior year, we had that Sweet 16 run. You come back to school, the experience. You're flying high, even though you lost.
yeah,
I think we made our university proud, and because when we got back on campus, all our kids were on spring break.
yeah.
And so we got back on campus, and it's just crazy. It's wild. All these people would say, "Hey, we're on spring break. We're on the beach and we're at the bar. We watch you guys play," and just having that sense of pride, and to uplift the university and people, they were on campus. And nobody really heard of UWM.
Yeah.
And so, those people that watched our game that were on those beaches in spring break, it kind of gave them that, like, yeah, I'll go to that school. So,
Yeah.
having that experience and giving your other classmates that sense of pride in their university, it was a great feeling. And then coming back my senior year as a starting point guard, still, we went back to the tournament. We won the conference again, regular season and the conference tournament. And then we got, who did we play first round? So we got Oklahoma. We played Oklahoma in the first round in Florida.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and so we beat Oklahoma in the first round, and then we get Florida, the University of Florida Gators.
The year they won it.
In the second round, this is the first year they won it.
Oh.
So Florida won it back-to-back years. So their first year of them winning national championship was the year we played them in the second round in Florida.
Oh, ouch.
So it was just kind of one of those kind of not perfect timing for us, but we think we come off a Sweet 16 run, we win our regular season, we win a conference tournament, we think we get a nice seed, we can maybe go on another run back to the Sweet 16 or something like that, and then you meet the national champions. They weren't the national champions at the time, but
no, they still had Al Horford and Joakim Noah.
we definitely found out why they were going to be national champions. They had Joakim Noah, Corey Brewer,
Yeah.
Al Horford, two of those guys are NBA All-Stars.
Yeah.
And, three of those, they end up getting drafted after they won the second national championship. I think they had 4 to 5 guys get drafted from that team.
I think everyone but the shooter got drafted.
Yeah. So, and their head coach is an NBA coach now as well. So
with the Bulls.
With the Bulls, yes. Yeah. So
with the Bulls.
Yeah. So we running against Florida in the second round, and when you got 2 7-footers, Joakim Noah, Al Horford leading the break, and it's pretty tough for a mid-major to compete with that. So we end up losing in the second round of the tournament in Florida. But I still think we made our university proud by going to the tournament back-to-back years. three times in the 5 years I was there, and we went to the tournament total 4 years. So only year I did not play postseason was my freshman year. We went to the NIT 1 year, right before my junior year.
Okay. All right.
So,
Keeping with college, just really quick here. What makes playing college athletics so much more difficult than high school? Like, why was college athletics that much more difficult than playing at Whitney Young? Because the public league's no joke. I'll say that, even though I tell kids, and Eddie admitted it, and hope you just kind of admitted it, Lincoln Way had a very strong team when we were there. We were good.
Yeah,
but we had some good conferences. Joliet had Roger and Orlando Tucker. Big Ten Player of the Year was at Lockport, and Eddie was in the South Suburbs. But it's still not the public league. So what makes college athletics so hard? When kids come to me and say, "Coach, I want to play Division I baseball or football or basketball," and sometimes you got to be honest with a kid and be like, "Look, you might need to look at the NAIA or Division III level, which is still very difficult to play in."
Oh, yes.
Why is Division I athletics that hard?
Well, to big up, the Lincoln Way School District back in the day, at least, I think the reason why you guys had so much success is because you guys play AU with us and, guys across the state, and then you guys competed against the guys across the country, the top athletes, across the country. So I think going back to, to the Franklin, Mokina, Lincoln, New Lenox area, you guys had played against the best kids across the country. So you wasn't afraid of anybody. So I think that's why you guys had so much success, your years there at Lincoln Way. But the Chicago Public League was tough. Playing at Whitney Young, it's a national powerhouse. We were a top 10 in the country when I was there. We had quite a few guys. I think we had 5 guys from my senior year go Division I.
With multiple underclassmen as well that were Division I.
Yeah, I think we had a total when I was a senior in high school, reaching back to the freshmen that were on varsity. I think we had a total of maybe 12 guys all get Division I scholarships. Marcus White being a national champion at UConn, McDonald American. So I played in definitely a tough league and went to a tough high school. But I think the big jump from CPS Public League that was very competitive to Chicago Division I was the physicality and just the quickness of the sport. I think that's the big jump. I don't know if you have any football players going to be watching this.
Yes,
but I think they have. I just going back, and I think the football programs do a lot better job than some basketball programs at times with the weight. Well, at least when I was in high school. I think that's the biggest jump. Even probably for high school football players, they can lift but the body development, the quickness of the game. I think when it is a big jump when you go from high school basketball or high school football or whatever sport, softball, and then going to a university Division I where you have, some seniors could be 22, 23 years old and you're coming in. Yeah. So that's a big jump. Your body's going to change tremendously in those couple years. And so you're going to a Division I campus. It could be the physical aspect of the game can be tough. So I think that's the biggest jump that kids, the challenge for kids coming out of high school playing Division I sports, the physicality of the game, and then just the quickness of the speed of the sport. It's a level up.
Yeah, that's true, and it's a massive. Yeah, it's a big leap up. I always thought the speed, having to guard Jason every day in practice, not knowing I was never going to get in the game. It wasn't fun chasing Jason around. Jason was another player that played with me and Chris, who started at Wyoming and was another great player in the public league like Chris. I had to chase his butt around in practice all the time and just get basically my butt handed to me all the time. But it was worth it. It kept me in shape. It kept me out of trouble in college. So I will say that I think college athletics gives you a lot of discipline as you go forward in life. You learn you better work hard very quickly, or they'll find someone else to do your job.
Yeah, most definitely. I think for your students too, the biggest difference too, not only on the court, is the time commitment. So you're in high school, you might work out in the morning, then you got school all day, then you might have practice after that. Where in college, you got the schedule, your schedule is just going to be packed. So your classes are spread out, but you might have weights and study table in the morning. Then you got class. Then you got to go to maybe another study table or something workouts. Then you have practice. You got individual workouts. You got study table. You got weights. You got strength and conditioning. It's just so many things that you have on your plate.
Yeah.
And so your schedule is going to be jam packed, and it's totally different from high school. So it's something. I don't make it sound scary, but it's definitely a commitment at a higher level than the commitment in high school. But I think you enjoy it because you have that love for the game that you're playing, and you want to get better. And so all those things at the college level are going to help you not only get better on the court, but help you become a better person.
Yeah. And then, Chris, you are one of the 1%, and not by 1% of people who can outdance me in a dance-off, but 1% of the people, 1% of the people who did get to play professional athletics. And you were paid to play the game of basketball after college.
Yes, that is true.
So now, and Chris, just like we talked to James did have a cup of coffee in the NBA, or talked about Augie earlier when he had an interview. But he was overseas as well. So you played overseas. So what countries did you play in, and how was it living abroad? I mean, that's something I've never experienced. And going to the Bahamas for vacation or Mexico, that don't count. It's going to a different country.
No, I've been to Mexico on vacation too, so it definitely doesn't count at all.
No, not at all.
Especially not to the countries I've been to and I played in. But I had the opportunity to play professionally after college, and I played in Romania my first year, Lithuania for 2 years, or a year and a half, and then a year and a half in Ukraine to finish my career up. And Eastern Europe, it's a different place. I had really never heard much of, besides history class.
Right.
You learn a lot about Western Europe. The Paris, France. You learn about Spain, Italy, Greece, all these, countries, Germany, England. So to call my agent and he said, "Hey, I got this opportunity for you to play in Romania," I had to look it up on a map. But I had a great opportunity to get paid to play basketball, and it was a wonderful experience to be entrenched in somebody else's culture. It's a humbling experience. It's a learning experience. It made me appreciate, where I came from, and it made you appreciate America and the opportunities that we do have here. But it also opened my eyes up to other country and how they live, and I appreciated that the way they eat. It was you don't see the McDonald's and the Burger King and the KFC, the joints like that everywhere when you go to some of these countries, especially in Eastern Europe. You might have a McDonald's. You'd be lucky to have a McDonald's. And I actually lived in the capital of Romania, right outside. Well, my team was located a suburb right outside of Bucharest, Romania, which is the capital.
Okay.
And I think it was like maybe one or two McDonald's in the capital of the country. And so if you want that home feeling, you went to McDonald's, and the burgers do taste a little different. I'm not gonna lie.
Take note, kids, if you guys ever vacation or play professional in Romania, McDonald's will not be the same. But Chris, I mean, that's an experience. Like when I hear Romania or Ukraine, I think, are they in a civil war? Or, I mean, we just see what we see on TV and movies, and you don't really put two and two together unless you actually go. And like you said, most people vacation in, Paris and Berlin and Rome. You're really not going to go to Ukraine. It's just not a destination.
Yeah, it's not a destination spot on many people's bucket list.
No, it probably isn't. But that's not to say that if you had the opportunity, you could go there and you got to live there and experience the culture and meet new people. I'm sure it was something that you'll take with you and tell your kids about.
Oh, for sure. It was the people were so the Romanians, the Lithuanians, and Ukrainians were very nice. They treated me like a visitor, and it was made it. The time I was there was my home, and they made me feel very comfortable. So I had a great experience. I got a chance to visit some mountains in Romania. I got to learn a little more about Transylvania, the area, Dracula, that's what,
Oh,
Americans
Dracula.
grew up, Romania, Transylvania is part of Romania. It's an area of Romania. So get to go there and you get to see some of the castles in the mountains and things like that. And you hear stories, that was a great experience. But then I played in Lithuania, which is a small country. I think no bigger than maybe Utah or something like that.
Okay.
And they love basketball, die hard basketball fans. They happen to have a couple Lithuanians in the NBA at the time.
Yeah.
And so they just love basketball. That was a great experience. And then I ended up my last year in Odessa, Ukraine, which is right on the Black Sea.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I don't know if you have many history students that love history. They just got invaded by Russia some years back.
Yes. Okay. I remember hearing vaguely something about it. I know that's the name Odessa because there's a little Odessa, a neighborhood in New York that's in. I want to say it's in Staten Island that we were at. I was there in New York years ago, and someone was explaining how Odessa's on the Black Sea, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah. So it was. Now Odessa was a bigger city than all the other places I played in. Big Russian influence, though. Obviously, which is why Russia tried to take it back over some years ago. But all those countries, Eastern Europe, had a big Russian influence. The older people all spoke Russian. A lot of the kids that were growing up when I was playing, they were all learning English in school. So everybody spoke multiple languages because they spoke. Their parents all had grew up where they had to. Russian was the only language they spoke.
Yeah.
And then they also learned their native language, like Lithuanian spoke Lithuanian, Romanian spoke Romanian. So they all spoke Russian. They all spoke their native language, and they all spoke English, and they probably like a German, something like that. So it was amazing that they learned so many, and I had so many so many teammates that learned English from watching movies.
Oh, really?
Yes. So all my teammates. So when I was there, all my teammates, the younger kids, like their younger brothers and sisters, were learning English in school, but they never were taught English in school. So all of them had learned English from watching movies, downloading movies, and watching movies. So it wasn't. We didn't have great conversations sometimes because they learned English from movies, but they were able to navigate the English language based from watching movies all day.
They're watching Friday and all those comedies. I'm sure. And
Yeah, a lot of Friends. They love the Friends.
I'm sure the dialogue had to be interesting, but that's something you learn in a different country. And kids that are watching this, if you have the opportunity to go do something overseas, maybe jump on it and you'll definitely
abroad. Those opportunities, I think you should take advantage of to see. To be entrenched in somebody else's culture is definitely a learning experience. Make sure you appreciate what you have at home too, though.
Yeah, true. And then the last thing we have here, Chris, I always open it up, and you can tell these kids, Lincoln Way East High School, any word of advice or just going forward, what they should look for, not look for, whatever you want to tell them. It's the board is open.
I think my biggest thing would be have an open mind. Have an open mind to, whatever you do, that's in your work ethic, learning new techniques on how to get bigger, stronger, listen to people that has come before you, have an open mind on different foods and different cultures and different people, because we're all coming from different walks of life and everybody got their own, own things that they're going through, but have an open mind and to those different things, and it helps you become a better person and the better you. Yeah. Having opportunities to meet different people and learning from them and their mistakes, and just because I think it helps you become a more well-rounded person and being the best you can be.
Yeah.
So I think having an open mind, and especially when you go to college, it's you've been doing it for a certain way when you're entrenched in your high school and things like that, your coaching staff. You've been around those people for 4 years. And so when you go on that next level of college that have maybe Division I, Division II, Division III, NAIA, junior college, wherever, life is going to take you, I think just having that open mind and being able to learn something from each person you kind of come in contact with would be great for you.
Yeah. I couldn't agree more. My parents entrenched me in people from all over different cultures, diversities,
Yeah.
and it made me a better person for it. People always say, Coach, how do you know all these people? And I'm like, my parents just introduced me when I was little, and I
Mhm.
saw no differences, and we had more alike than we were different with a lot of people, and they're my friends. That's how
Yeah.
I handle myself. So,
We go
so
back to sixth grade, John. We go back to
huh?
sixth grade, baby. So we go back to sixth grade.
Sixth grade, it's crazy. It's class. So sixth grade, I'm trying to think of the year that would have been like 1995, maybe
Mhm.
roughly. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's 25 solid years of knowing you, Chris.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
better off for it. Um, so yeah, kids, Chris Hill, University of Wisconsin Water. I'm gonna hit pause on the recording, and then Chris will talk for a few minutes here. But I
Okay.
really appreciate you doing this, Chris. The kids love it, and it's always good for them to hear from people that
Uh,
aren't necessarily their teachers all the time.
One other thing.
Okay.
I know I talked about having an open mind and meeting people, but contact, networking.
Yeah.
I think that's one thing too. By having an open mind, meeting different people, also networking. And at a young age, we probably didn't know we were doing it, John, but
Yeah.
just being open minded and talking and meeting different people, you're constantly networking. And I think that's going to be major in whatever you do. It's me for coaching is especially important, but I think no matter what you do in your profession, what you decide to do, networking and meeting people and staying in contact with those people was going to help you tremendously in whatever you decide to do and be successful.
Oh, that's perfect. Believe it or not, that was close to the words of advice that our other friend Eddie Curry gave to the class of networking through social media. Chris also knows Big Ed and put Eddie in his place more than a few times. We can't get into the Eddie Curry stories too much in this in a high school setting. Maybe you guys catch me later in life. So everyone, Chris, thank you very much.
No
Kids
problem.
really appreciate it.
No problem, guys.